there's so much more we need to talk about. Okay.
Yeah.
So we talked about Cliff and we talked about the last scene and stuff. What do you think about the narrator?
Ooh, that's
So
interesting.
the narrator he talks a shit ton in the end, right before the final big action piece, like setting everything up. But he has one line in the beginning of the movie, and that is when DiCaprio, Rick Dalton, explains that I don't really want to drive or something like that, and he says, "That's a lie. He was in an accident, and now Cliff have to drive him everywhere." There is the only time there's a narrator, and then like 1.5 hours later, we have so much of the narrator. And there's the narrator is a famous person. I don't really know his name though. I
don't know who it is, but yeah, it was super. But it's a Tarantino thing for sure.
Yes. But what do you think about the way he like one sentence in the beginning, because the audience needed to know a little bit more, and then just everything in the end. What do you think about that?
It worked for me. Like
it worked, but it
wasn't distracting because I saw it coming. Didn't see it coming, but I saw it almost coming because it's Tarantino.
I think it was a good way of saying that in the beginning we needed just like one clarification, and then how should we explain it?
Like there's so much he didn't talk about. Like the things he put up is the important things, you know.
They could have made it as in he explained his relationship to the owner of the yard, but instead they made this super suspense scene.
Yeah.
There's so many scenes where they can use a narrator to make it easier.
They could use the narrator for everything.
Yeah.
I think he might just like in that one good like
I think it was just like a heads up maybe.
A good way to introduce the narrator. So in the end when it comes, it's like, whoa, where did this come from?
I think the last scene is the most important scene, as in it's the one that's changed it all, like the what if story, you know. And it has so much setup to it, every little thing. Sharon Tate, who is not even in the last scene except for the very end, or like the last.
I think that's like
thing.
It was
when he was like, Sharon Tate was pregnant at the time, and he was starting to get cranky, you know, the pregnant kind, like stuff like that didn't even matter. But he talked everything in so much detail up to this moment, and then he just lets it go, and then what if, you know? So that was like a big, you know, heads up. Now we're gonna get action, you know.
Yeah, but it's I think that like that last shot, crane, and you see like them coming up to the house and like they hug and stuff. You need to understand that for Americans, like she was this beloved actress.
Yeah, she was.
Her death with the baby was like a very big thing, you know. And when you see that it's like she's okay, you know. In this reality, she's okay, and like people are, you know, it's like that type of feel good because you know that she died in reality. I love it. You know why I love Django Unchained and why I love The Hateful Eight?
The suspense.
Not only the suspense, but they feel like a story. The narrator in Hateful Eight, it helps the story. It's like, feels like someone is telling you a story in bed, and you're like, I want to hear that again, you know. When I was little and like my grandma would tell me stories, like bedtime stories, I would like see the possibilities and everything. And like Tarantino's doing the same thing. He's like whispering in our ears, like, here's a story about this people that are stuck in a cabin, you know, stuck in a cabin. So easy to do, you know. It's like one location. It's awesome. I love that feel of storytelling.
It's so weird scenarios.
Yeah.
And it makes sense. It's good.
Dude, have you seen Hateful Eight?